The criminal trial of FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried moves into closing arguments today. The man once known as crypto's White Knight has pleaded not guilty to all 7 fraud-related charges. They were brought after the collapse of FTX and hedge fund Alameda Research last November. His decision to testify in his defense is being viewed as a critical moment in the trial as the jury begins its deliberations. Bankman-Fried faces a potential life sentence if convicted. Covering the case throughout and joining us now is Yahoo Finance's own Alexis Keenan. Alexis, take us through this wild ride and kind of maybe the end chapter that we're in right now.
Of course, yes. So as you said, closing statements expected today. That means the jury could get the case as soon as today. But Bankman-Fried's testimony really a make or break of his defense, as it is for most defendants who choose, criminal defendants who choose to take the stand. And while it's very hard to predict what jurors think, Bankman-Fried's answers on cross-examination that he did not recall really key events and key aspects of FTX's exchange's relationship with Alameda Research, the hedge fund, the crypto hedge fund that Bankman-Fried also ran, that he didn't remember those aspects of those statements to investors, to lenders, also to reporters, and his own public statements on Twitter. That really risks his testimony being perhaps unpersuasive. Now, Bankman-Fried often said things like, and this I quote, "I don't recall learning exactly that." And that's kind of the flavor that he had there on cross-examination while the prosecutors were asking him questions. Now, the thrust of Bankman-Fried's defense, though, is that as CEO, he was really focused on the big picture of these companies and that he didn't know until October of 2022 that FTX customers were being spent by Alameda for its trading, for its loans, for real estate purchases, and for political donations. He said that so long as on net, Alameda and FTX's assets exceeded liabilities, he believed that it was permissible for Alameda to borrow and use customer funds in accounts that opted into FTX's margin trading program. Now, as for the government's case, prosecutors say that Bankman-Fried knew that it was never okay to use customer funds and to spend them, and that he and his former executives, Caroline Ellison, Gary Wong, as well as Nishad Singh, made Alameda's access to those funds possible, and the testimony from those former executives is really some of the government's strongest evidence in this case. Those 3 former executives, as we know, pled guilty already, and they have admitted to this scheme being a fraud against customers, lenders, investors. I'll be heading back into court, though, in just moments when closing arguments are supposed to take place, and we will bring you the latest from the courtroom. Guys?